All right, people, here's the situation on the sump pump. Now, I travel for a living, so what you need to have here is you need to have a really good sump pump, and I have a half-horse one down in the hole there. And I just took that out tonight, spent about 2 hours cleaning all the inlet, getting all the sludge off it. You have to do that you should do that at least every 6 months to a year. It's kind of like a vein or an artery going to your heart. If them screens are plugged up, you'll just burn the pumps up and then you have a big issue. Well, the other component to that is, you see this other pump here? I just installed that tonight. And I give you a little layout of the situation. I wound up going with a 4-inch pipe out the drain. And next down in an 1.5 inch here. And the situation was, I built a house 20 years ago, me and my brothers, and what happened is about 2 or 3 years ago, I hear this bumping down in the basement, and it was my kayak. And I don't know if you can see, but about to that first course there, I had water in the basement, and I've never had water in my basement before. And what had happened was the sump pump had failed. And as you see, that's a 3-inch line going outside. It actually necks into a 4-inch line going out 100 feet with a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch drop all the way out to the woods. And I have a cover on it, a screened cover. But when I did the house, the guy that put he did the groundwork on the outside, he wound up putting 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inch black pipe going out there. And what happened was, over time, that winds up sludging up. And especially if you have any rust in your water or anything. Now, you can see that's only, that was from the old system I had. But as you see, it gets like an artery. It closes right up. And the reason I went with a 4-inch, because if 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches took 20 years to plug up, I guarantee you that'll be another 50 years before a 4-inch line goes down. But at the end of the day, what I've got here, I want to show you, this is a one-way valve. It only lets the water come up. And if you see, when this turns on, you're going to see water kick out of here. Water's going to kick out of this little angle right here. It's going to piss out right along as it's pumping water out. And what that is on the return, what it does is it allows there not to ever have a vapor lock or an air lock there. Now, this system over here is my backup pump. Okay? So if this one ever fails, okay, had this pump right here ever fails, and it's pretty new, it's only a year or two old, but it was up here. I had it up here. That's why you hear it keep kicking on, because I'm actually readjusting the water level. As you see from underneath the house, underneath the foundation, you still got water running in. Once this all runs out and gets pumped out, it'll actually stay stable. But right now, you're going to hear it kick on. See how that water kicks out the side right there with it? That's just so that it doesn't get a vapor lock and burn your motor up. That's a neat little feature. You can buy those. They're like 27 bucks. You get this fern coat fitting here, and you get the one-way valve, and you get that stem right there that goes down into the pump itself, the body of the pump. Now, this one was about 16 bucks. This was a Lowe's one. But this one here is, I don't know if it's as nice as that one. I actually like that one better, but this is a 1/3 horse pump. It's a really nice one. I got it over to Harbor Freight, and it may never get used. It may never get used. It's only in an emergency situation. Of course, I've got to plug it in. I got to run another line for it, but up top, I got to run a line and plug them both in. I want to have them on separate lines. That way, if one goes, the other one's got a different power source. But I do have them hooked in, this one here currently, to a ground fault circuit interrupt. And it'll be on my, I have a generator backup system next to the panel. I've actually got to replace this one that's there. I got a better one put in, but they're not that hard to do. I'm going to do a video on that when I do it. But as you see, this block back here, this was what it was sitting on, because it was raised up. It was raised up a little higher. But we're doing away with that system, and we're lowering the entire footing of it down lower, and then all the water around the house will drain and eventually get pumped out, and we won't have a bunch of water, or a possibility of the water coming up over the floor like it did that one time. Now, I didn't really ruin anything. It just made a little staining on the floor. But we never want that situation to happen again, because I'm actually storing some stuff down here in the basement now. So, but I hope you like the overview on the floor, or the pump itself. We're going to turn around and come back in about a month or so and see if it actually even kicked on. I did actually turn it on real quick. They say you can go up to like 10 seconds, but I need to put a bracket around it too, so it's all going to be in the future. But at least I know if something goes down with that other pump, I have a secondary system. So, all right, if you are in need of a sump pump and you need a backup system, now you can turn around and buy the ones that are all-in-one, and they have like a battery backup type deal. And I would recommend that if you don't have a generator or something that's going to have an alternate source of power, because you could be out for a day or two and then you wind up flooding your basement. But I actually have a system that we can hook our generator up to, and it'll actually run both of these. So, all right, people, there you go. And that's what I did tonight.